What's going on, y'all? This is Josh Taylor here on the JTFB channel, and I wanted to do a film room this week, and it wasn't the most eventful preseason game that we saw, but I think we got a good look at some more of Jaden Daniels and even some blueprint of Kliff Kingsbury. There's a couple things that I really wanted to point out for both Jaden Daniels and Kliff that I really liked in this preseason game, and I think that we will see a good bit of this throughout the season moving forward. So let's get right to it. The first thing that I wanted to point out, it was actually the first play of the game. It wasn't like the biggest, most successful play at all, but I really like this formation. It's like a reduced set, 12 personnel. You got two tight ends, one running back. It's like a pistol, but everything's just condensed. You have two tight ends right there. And I think you'll see a lot of this for both the passing game and the running game as well. So B-Rob actually gets the carry on this play, but you'll see a lot of option out of this as well, whether it's, Ben Sinnott swinging now, maybe like a wham block or something like that. But I just really like what I saw out of this set here. It's really funky. You don't see it that often, just nothing out wide here, nothing out wide here. You got guy in the slot, and then tight end, and then you have your running back. So on this play, B-Rob just kind of runs it up the middle. Wasn't that big of a gain. But you're going to see a lot of stuff where, tight end blocks, wide receiver blocks, tight end swings out there. Running back can go, or, vice versa. Running back can go this way, and Jaden Daniels can keep it and go like this. And you'll still get that same blocking. There's just so much that you can do in this formation that I was like, wow, you don't see that a lot. Kliff, you kind of impressed me there. Like I said, 12 personnel. I think we'll get a lot of two tight end sets with both Ben Sinnott, and then whenever Zach Ertz comes back to start playing, we'll have him in there as well. Both really good receiving threats, and both can, very good blockers, very willing blockers. And guys like Terry, guys like Diami can get down there and block as well. So there's a lot you can do with this. And then once again, you can, Ben Sinnott up the seam, or you can do some kind of like tight end screen here, and then you have your blockers go out. There's just so much you can do. Like the possibilities are endless in this set. So wasn't the craziest, most successful play by any means, but I just thought this formation and the personnel that Kliff showed on the first play of the game was actually pretty freaking cool. All right, this next one is the same drive. I think it's actually the second play of the game. And you have a 3-by-1 formation. You got three receivers out here to the right, and then you have one out here. And then you have your offset left tailback here. And you can talk about the offensive line, and even when the offensive line is bad, what helps out is when you can get rid of the ball quickly. And I think you're going to see that with a lot of these screens, but also Kliff really wants to stretch the field out. They want to put a lot of stress on the defense. You'll see a lot of these sideline to sideline throws, essentially kind of using that in the quick game and kind of like a running game in some sort. It's just kind of out by the sidelines and not running behind the line. These quick passes can really help when you do have a struggling offensive line and you do have a rookie quarterback, but it just helps when you have guys that can make big plays out of it, and then Jaden can get it out and put it in a good spot. Now on this play, it was actually a tunnel screen, I believe. As you see the play develop, Jaden puts it on the spot right there to Diami, and great blocks in front of him, and you can see how he just tunnels. And that's the main thing about a tunnel screen, is it just kind of funnels into a certain way for him. And good little pickup there by Diami. Maybe this is something in his arsenal we haven't seen yet that can be added to the offense. But I think you'll see a lot of this. Kliff just wanting to stress defenses and have them go sideline to sideline and running around the field all the time. And it's going to open up things down the middle, and it's going to open up the run game as well. Give you one more look here. Jaden does a good job getting out of it quick, puts it right on the spot. Him and Diami were in sync. That's a good play, good gain right there. But these quick passes are going to be a big part of the offense. Now on this next play, it's pretty much just flip. You have 3-1 on the other side of the field. Now, three guys down here, one here, and split back offset right now. So you pretty much just flipped it from the very last play. but he does something different. Maybe the defense is like, okay, it could be like another little quick pass to the left, whatever, but it's not. And the thing I really like about this play here is Jaden Daniels' ball placement and accuracy, little 3-step drop. And you'll see he's kind of looking already to where he wants to go with it, but he's not like full sold to it or anything like that. And he does that little hitch step there, and you see he's starting to wind it up already. You see that passing motion starting right here. He's getting his base set. He's squaring up his shoulders and everything to where he's going to launch it out there to Diami. And that little split second in his hitch allows for Diami to get that separation right here for his curl route or comeback route, whatever it is. And he's closing that cushion so he can come back and get to the ball. Let me see how he finishes this route. Boom. I mean, look at that. Jaden puts it to that outside shoulder here where only Diami can get it. But you want to talk about timing. You want to talk about anticipation. That is being on the same page as your wide receiver. That thing is right where Diami has to be, and only he can get it, but just a split second of perfect timing. I mean, it's literally hitting him in that back shoulder, so he just comes out there and gets it right away. It's a beautiful ball. I want to see another view of this thing. And you'll see a little bit better look of Jaden's drop and how he sets in his base and squares his shoulders. A little 1, 2, 3 step drop hitch. Boom, lets it rip. Can't really see the route too much on this view, but you get a close-up of Jaden, and maybe we'll see a little bit more here of what that throw looks like. But just the timing and anticipation with this throw, the ball placement was just at an elite level last night. Impressed the heck out of me. I mean, look. Outside shoulder, only he can get it. That's a beauty. But you can just tell him and Diami are on the same page. They have a rhythm so far together. I love it. All right, now we're in second down, and we're back in that formation I like, but it's not as condensed. The wide receivers are spread out a little bit. They're not in the slot. They're out wide now. So put that in the little package of all the things you can do out of this formation. Still 12 personnel, still have 2 tight ends, and you still have your split back offset to the left. And on this one, same thing of what we saw out of that Diami route. It's just like a curl route by Terry, but Terry does a great job of closing that separation, that cushion, and then being able to get out and get that cut. But once again, the elite ball placement by Jaden Daniels. And you can just watch the route here. Terry's at the bottom of the screen, and Terry's going to Terry. Good route, good route. Right here, you can tell, once again, Jaden is starting that motion, that throwing motion. And you can see Terry down here does a great job getting that little chicken wing, putting the elbow in there, a little, not really like a push off, but kind of like a push by, where he's able to just turn around and get into that route. Now let's see. Jaden releases it there. Terry is not all the way out of his route yet. He's getting into that curl motion where he's trying to get to the catch point. And look at that. You can already see where the ball's coming right here. Terry is anticipating it on being exactly where he needs it to be, that outside shoulder where only he can get it. And just beautiful ball placement. Like, holy smokes. That's literally perfect. Look at that. Like, if you can zoom in and just focus right here, his hand, the ball, and his body, this guy is as close to him as possible, but the ball placement is just next level out of Jaden, man. That's just being on the same page of your wide receiver, all the training you've been doing, all the practicing you've been doing, going out to Oregon together, just getting used to knowing how your wide receiver is. And then also Terry, just understanding how Jaden throws the ball. You got to be excited to see these kinds of things, but it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, that's a big boy throw by Jaden. It might not be some 20, 30 yarder, it might not be that bomb, but from a, mechanical standpoint and a, technician standpoint, like, that's a beautiful ball. He understands And this is why he had 50 touchdowns at LSU last year and like no turnovers, because he understands where he needs to put the ball. Like this is big boy. This is big boy stuff out of Jayden here. This is ridiculous. But I wish they would have been able to pan over a little bit faster, because Terry did a great job and Jayden absolutely nailed that throw. And then next play, Jayden says, we're going to go back to Terry. And this is where Terry says, okay, do what you did last time. Let's add a little bit of sauce to it. So 3-by-1, offset left. I like how they're putting, I think this Bates out there in the slot, by the way. But Terry bottom of the screen. It's a little bit of a different route. More of like a curl route here. Waits for the throw. Jayden puts it on the dot, exactly where it needs to be. And it allows him to be able to run after the catch. And then Terry, being his elusive self, says, I don't care if it's preseason. I want to get more yards after the catch. But once again, big time throw by Jayden. It allows Terry to, when he's getting out of his breaking point and he's expecting the ball to be there, it's there. It's on time, and it is exactly where it has to be. This is something we're going to see a lot this season. You can talk about the deep throws. You can talk about the air in and out, the spread offense type of throws, the slot fades that Jayden's going to throw. But these ones right here, whether it's like 3rd and 5, where it's just like allowing Terry to not have these suicide balls across the middle of the field, but allowing Terry to do these kinds of things again and get the yards after the catch and make explosive plays where it's not like, hey, we're not risking interceptions. We're not doing these crazy, passes down the middle of the field. But I just want to show you once again how great this thing is when Terry actually catches it, how it's there when it's supposed to. And this is just something we haven't had in a long time. Let's get like right here. And right there. Look at that. Right in that outside shoulder, exactly where it needs to be. And then Terry does a great job of putting his feet in the ground, turning outside. He knows where the DB is. Breaks the tackle. Boom. Big time stuff. Terry and Jayden. It's going to be a good duo this year, yo. I don't know what to tell you. Like, they are already clicking. And I know, once again, it's not like the craziest plays, but it's just the details of these plays that have been amazing. There's one play that wasn't Jayden that I kind of wanted to point out because I was just looking back at it. They're back in shotgun, offset left. I wanted to point out a really good pull blocking scheme here. Allegretti, 67 left guard, pulls around. It ended up being a pretty good gain by B-Rob, who had a good run here. But just, once again, watch this pull here by Allegretti. And for those who don't know, it's a pull across. And you'll see B-Rob just follow his blocks. But once again, just a really good blocking scheme, and I'll just let y'all watch how it develops. Boom, big pickup by Allegretti there. And then B-Rob hits that outside, picks up a nice gain. That's what I like to see. Good offensive line play. It's about time. All right, next play, 1st and 15 is right after Wiley flag. And something else to consider is Jayden's legs are going to open up running abilities. Once again, another Allegretti pull to B-Rob run on the right side. Teams have to account for Jaden Daniels' legs. They can't just sell out on B-Rob running the ball. But watch how the defense reacts. Watch Allegretti's pull here. Obviously, you know where the defense is. Allegretti will come across again. B-Rob gets it. And in the future, there's opportunities where Jaden Daniels can keep it and go. Just really depends on what you see out of your hot, usually this guy here, or if they have a linebacker that's closer to the box, it's going to be one of these guys, especially if Allegretti pulls. You're going to make sure that you have your blocks here, and you got to kind of read what happens on the outside. But I'll let y'all watch it. Nice pull. Boom. And B-Rob, once again, nice little pickup there. So that's one thing I did want to see in the preseason a little bit more. was better run blocking because I didn't really see it too much in the first game. And I think the offensive line last night was better. It helps when you got Bates out there doing a good job blocking. You have Allegretti who can move in space. They're going to want to do a lot of that pull blocking scheme, especially on counters, option plays, and stuff like that. You'll see it a good bit. All right. And then, of course, Jaden's going to show off his legs. He had a nice run as well. Kind of wish he would have got down. You can tell he got up and started looking at the sidelines like, my bad, y'all. I know I should have slid, but it's whatever. But you'll see, I want to say it's Bates does a good job of swinging out here and getting the block for him. Chop Robinson and this guy here bite on it. And you'll see Eckler go out here, and then Jaden Daniels just keeps it and goes right. Just a nice little option play here. But just watch how Bates swings out. 44 bites. Jaden says, yep, that's a keeper all day long. Really wanted to get down. Look at Dan. You can see Dan here. Shout out to DQ. He said, get down. He's pointing down to the ground. He's like, get down, son. What are you doing? And then Jaden gets up laughing and talking to him like, my bad. I know. I got to be better about that. But here's just the backside view of it. Watch how everything develops, the blocking. Chop Robinson bites. And I mean, that's ideal because that allows Bates to get out to that second level to where he's not, having to chip a guy at the line and then Jaden's running past him. He doesn't get as far. He gets to that second level where you can pick up 10, 15 plus yards. All right, now we have some RPO. Oops. All right, now we have some RPO where Jaden has the option to run, hand it off, or pass. That's what RPO is, run, pass option. And what ends up happening is we'll see Bates come out here, run a seam route. If I can do the whole route in one little swoop, just runs a good little seam route here. And Jaden's responsibility is to just read the box. Read the box. You know what Austin's, run path is. And then also, once again, he can keep it. He can roll out and pass it. But he does a great job of reading the defense, reading that middle of the field, seeing what he likes, setting his feet, and then just making a quick decision. He doesn't wait on anything. It just happens. So I'll let it play through the first time to show you how fast it is, real time. Boom, pulls it out. He sees it, and then just laser to Bates. You want that to be a little bit better. Bates can catch that on the run, but I feel like if that's Ben, he probably catches it a little bit cleaner, and he's still running with it. But nonetheless, this view here gives you a good look of Jaden's eyes and his head's what he's looking at. There's linebackers there. It's a little bit in front of John Bates, but I'm not mad at it because of how quick he's having to swing his hips, open up, and launch that thing, and you get a better view from this way as well. Eckler goes in motion, offset right, pulls it out. I mean, that view there, that funnel shows you what he sees when he's pulling it out. I know we're not as low as Jayden, but you just have to see that tunnel, the hash to hash, and what he's looking at. So we'll look at it one more time from this view and just show you exactly what Jayden sees at that time. Ball snapped, faking the handoff. Good job getting his body turned, looking down. I know it sounds silly, but it's small details. And you see the linebackers are already starting to, be cautious. They're not really biting, but they're reading here. They're like, all right, these are my two gaps here. We have to watch out for Ekeler running, and we have to watch out for Jaden Daniels running it as well. But they say, hey, we're going to be disciplined. You're not going to catch us lacking. And this is where he starts to see the linebackers come down a little bit, start to show their hand on what they're going to do. And then he says, all right, I like what I see. This is when you can say it's a bite. This guy's back is facing where Bates is trying to go to over here. 20 here, he's sold out. And then you have this outside guy here. So you can mark it off. Me running is not a good idea. Because he would probably run it somewhere this way and run into chop or run into 50. And then same with Ekeler. I don't want him going up into this gap unless he can get away from 50. And then if he goes left, he has this guy. Hey, Bates is the move. None of these guys dropped out. They're not sitting in those hooks in the zone or anything like that. It's not man. So he has that open. And like I said, I want it to be a little bit more inside, but for as fast as he's opening it up and letting it rip, I like it. He saw what he had. It's like when you're playing Madden or College Football 25, you see your guy, you're like, come on, hit it. That window's not going to stay open long. And still put in a good spot where Bates can catch that. But if he cleans it up just a little bit, comes inside, he's catching that on the run. Him, Ertz, Ben, they're running that to a good bit. Ben's going to run some guys over. But just a really good play. I love the RPO, especially when you have Jaden Daniels who can really open it up. All right, and we've got some more RPO. We got Terry out wide, Jahan in the slot, and Alameda in the slot. Just trips to the left, offset, Ekeler to the left, RPO, boom. It turns into a screen to Alameda Zacchaeus. Let's go back and take a look at it real quick. It's still RPO because he could always hand it off to Ekeler. And honestly, Ekeler might cut it outside, get a little bit of a gain here, but Jaden does a good job of being decisive, pulls it out. And obviously, like I said, screen here to Alameda, boom, picks it up. For who they're blocking, that's a good blocking job by Jahan and Terry. By no means is that easy. Wide receivers, something you'll learn, are not good blockers, especially on screens. But quick rip, had pressure in his face. Jaden Daniels did. And just once again, good little rip there to Alameda. And turns into a nice little gain. We got one more view of it from Jaden's side. You can see that pressure coming in. Because it's a screen, you have that free runner there. But also, like, everyone's like sliding right. It's like a slide right in case, or I guess it's essentially just zone blocking to the right. It's like a run blocking scheme, but since it's RPO, you have that pass option on the outside there, and Jaden took it. And then the last clip that I got for y'all, it's Jaden's last play, and it's nothing crazy, but it's a 3rd and long because of a Wiley penalty once again. But I just like how Jaden reads the field, sees there's nothing there, takes the safe play, a little drop down, a little check to Bates. I think he just runs like an out route and doesn't try to force anything. You are in field goal position, so you want to get a little bit closer, but you don't want to throw the ball away. You don't want to throw an interception. At this point, just make the safe play. And you can see that's exactly what Jaden does. He also shows off just how fast he can get a ball somewhere. So looking back, Jahan's running a deep cross. Alameda is running this way. Can't really see what route he's running. Looks like he's just running a post, but everything's covered. You don't want to hit Terry deep. Terry's covered here. He's not even really looking back for it yet. He's getting defended well. Jahan on his deep post. You have this guy here who just came off because he's starting to throw the ball, but this guy could easily jump it. You never know if this guy could drop back. You could probably hit Eckler here. But Alameda really carried these guys over here on the post. You're not hitting him because you have safety help here and here. So he says, all right, I'm just going to sling it to Bates over here. I know we're not going to be picking up a bunch. We'll pick up a couple, and it makes the field goal a little bit easier. I'm not trying to force something deep down the field or just throw something ill-advised. If I can take those few yards, I might as well. And that's exactly what he does. That thing's a laser too, man. I'm telling you, it's a small play, but you can just see how fast that ball leaves his hands and gets somewhere. I loved it. Let's take another look at it from Jaden's view. And rip. Good ball placement. And once again, nothing crazy, but a good little pickup on 3rd and long. You're not trying to force anything. Just help out your kicker, which we don't have a kicker, so we really don't have one to help out because Riley Patterson's definitely not going to be the kicker for this team. But still, don't force anything across the middle. Don't cause a turnover. If you can pick up a few yards, do it. A 49-yard field goal, make it a 46, make it a 45, a 44, whatever. Just make it a little bit easier for your kickers. So I hope y'all enjoy the breakdown. Once again, it wasn't the craziest games. We only got 2 drives of Jaden Daniels. He had a fire alarm going off to start the game. I don't know if y'all could hear it on TV, but I could hear it from the Miami broadcast. And then he had 2 Wiley penalties that really killed drives. But still, Jaden Daniels showed elite ball placement, just really good anticipation, and just a quick reaction time, just knowing where he wants to go and pulling the trigger. But then also Kliff showed like, hey, we're going to do a lot of shotgun. We're going to do a good bit of pistol. We're going to have some, 12 personnel in there. We're going to have like a lot of, 1 running back, 2 tight end sets with that 12. And we're going to stretch out the field. You're going to see trips on some sides. You're going to see, empty on the other side. You're going to see reduced sets. You're going to see a lot of different looks, and it's going to keep defenses guessing. So I really like what I saw out of the second game in the preseason. I know it doesn't feel like we've seen much, but still, there's a good little blueprint of what we can expect this season. So obviously the 3rd game, not really too sure what to expect with Jaden Daniels on a starting offense and stuff like that. So I'll figure out something to break down in the film room. But as the actual season starts, these are going to get longer and detailed and show y'all some more, better cut-ups when we actually have a whole game of our starters playing. So hope y'all enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and I'll see y'all next time.